Well, howdy-ho, it's our favorite test dummy, Mack. Don't worry, he's not really broken, but we're gonna try and fix a few problems. Now, if you've been following Mack for the last 8 months, you know we've had this truck featured at least a few times. We're gonna take a look at these codes. It usually pertains an oxygen sensor and running lean in both banks. Now, this truck has never really had issues running except for one time, and that was a fault that I did, but when the codes are reading that the engine is running lean, we're getting too much air, not enough fuel. I have a feeling that there's a major vacuum leak somewhere. Whether that is my purge valve, my idle air control valve, the vacuum lines, somewhere along this line, there is excess air seeping into the system. This is really just chasing problems. I'm curious, I want to learn how to do it, so I'm going to replace the parts even if some of them might not be faulty. For starters, this is that purge control valve. We got 2 gas caps. Quick, simple, and easy. This part, really just for the kicks and giggles, it was like $5. Doesn't hurt to have a clean air filter. These are our oxygen sensors. 2 of them are for the upstream, 1 of them is for downstream. The upstream ones sit between your headers and your front of the catalytic converter, which is what breaks down your engine's fumes and goes out the back. Your downstream one is the other side of the cat going to the back. While we're doing the purge valve, we're also going to do the charcoal canister. Again, cheap part. And our last part, which is 3 things in one, I've already installed them. The idle air control valve and our throttle position sensor. This I don't believe was bad, nor do I think my throttle body's bad, but I did run a smoke test on it a couple days ago, and a bunch of smoke was seeping up from the bottom of the throttle body, and I think one of my seals maybe is going bad, and there's a possibility air is getting sucked in through there. But the idle air control valve, if this is clogged up, if this is bad, this can definitely throw a code. Now that you know the plan of attack, let's dive under the hood. That is getting all this stuff changed out. It is a hot one today. While it's nice and shady in the garage, we're still talking heat indexes of close to 100, and not fun. Now, I've covered these guys in one of my shorts, but you know those tripod lights you can use in construction sites? How's that for lighting? We're gonna have to remove this whole intake pipe system up to the throttle body. Might help if we disconnect the battery, just so we're not draining our hood light. I'll be able to leave my mass airflow sensor on. That might be another thing that could be an issue, but it doesn't seem to be faulty yet. There's our air box, and I'm gonna have to make sure we change this filter pretty dang regularly due to the fact I ran that cold air intake pipe, which is this right here, straight out the grill. It used to snorkel up, and it attached right here where the 2 holes are. And before I forget, if you guys like when we work on old Mac or any other projects, smash the like button, consider subscribing. You guys have been an amazing audience, and I love your patience with me as I learn on this journey of how to work on all these mechanical things. Sometimes it's simple, sometimes it's out of my wheelhouse. This is a coolant line, and then there's another coolant line on the bottom. If I pinch this one off with a vice grip, that'll keep it from flooding out, and then this one I can just breathe it through our coolant valve. And that should back enough off so we can get it off without spilling any. I want you guys to head down into the comment section. What kind of vehicle do you work on? I know this truck has been the most I've ever worked on a vehicle. You got an old square body, you got a first gen, you got a diesel, gas, heck, even a Beetle if you're that crazy. I tell you, this thing has saved me from losing my bolts more times than I want to admit. As I stated, I was gonna take the battery off. These are 30-year-old parts, and sometimes they just wear out. But you see all that black gunk in there? That's carbon deposits, courtesy of this little guy. But if I had to guess anything that might be wrong with this throttle body, is just look at all that buildup. And that's got to pass through this valve just so it can get into the engine bay as an idle to keep the engine smooth. As Chris Fix would say, out with the old, in with the new. Before I put it in, if you see this little guy right here, this goes up to our purge control valve, which is right up by the firewall. And the connector that goes into the side of our throttle body here is really, really cracked up. So it'd be a great idea to replace that line, but I do not have any of those right now. So this will just have to do. That is a very thin gasket. Wow. The oxygen sensors are going to be the hardest, and mainly the one that's on this side upstream. Yeah, that pipe is not setting the right direction. I'm gonna have to see if I can bend that. Plug in our sensor and redo this. If I wonder where my parts go, I'm just gonna ask my step board when I hear them fall off. You got one clip, one vacuum, and then two other vacuum connectors, which one of them goes down to our charcoal canister and then the other one goes into the throttle body. You can't mess them up because they're both different sizes. I thought about buying this part cheap, but I looked when I did all the reviews online and a lot of people were like, just buy the one that's from Motorcraft. Most of the evap problems you see on these older Fords, it's either this or it's a broken vacuum line. It's nice is that I've already disconnected all this stuff one time, so it shouldn't be too difficult to get it off. Always be careful because these old plastic parts, man, they can and will snap easy. There is no mercy. Yeah, that looks nice and shiny. There it is. Good. I think besides the air box, that's all we really needed to do up top. Charcoal canister is kind of in a bad spot, but it sits right in between your main radiator hose and the left post of your battery. Hey, fun fact, guys. My wife just came out to say hi to me.
Hi, dear.
Not sure if you got picked up on the mic, but she is here.
Closer?
Probably. Hi, honey. And in case you're wondering, there goes the charcoal canister. That's what it looks like. It is worth noting that when I did my initial replacement of the fuel injectors, that whole project, I never did replace the grommet, that positive little ventilation tube. A couple days ago, I actually took all this wiring apart and I was able to sneak it out and replace it. So that part has now been done. I forgot I still kind of got to do a handful of other tasks tonight, so we're actually just going to go replace the gas caps and we'll save the other stuff for tomorrow. We don't talk about Mack's little problem. He'll be fine. I've never really had issues with my gas caps. Oh, so that's how you do it. That's kind of cool. Nice. And the second one. Now, the best part about these old pickups is that they had the dual fuel tank system. Now, yes, they have their issues, that they can leak, they can be a problem. I fortunately, knock on wood, have both of mine working and working great. And the goal with Mack, after, you know, doing all I can to keep working on him, I'll be able to pass him down to my kids and they can work on him. But now all we got left is our oxygen sensors. So there's one on this side, and then another one technically still towards the left, but they're all down underneath the truck. This little doohickey right here is our Bank 2 upstream oxygen sensor. This is your transmission pan. This is your downpipe from your header right here. And I promised myself I would start with the harder ones first. I'm like, you know what? Let's just do the easy one on camera so you guys don't really know how big of a pain in the butt this is about to be. The other two are a bit more buried, but I might be able to get to it, but there's no hope for a camera shot. Maybe light, but that's about it. Some of you might be looking at me right now going, you lucky son of a gun. I hope every other one of these is just terrible for you. In case you're wondering, that's what a oxygen sensor looks like. I didn't look at the other one, so I don't know what a bad sensor looks like. I thought that was a rubber tip on the end. No, that's metal. I don't know why the heck I would think that's rubber. But it already comes anti-seized on the thread, so that's nice. And I went with Bosch ones. I tend to go with the more expensive product. Not that I don't trust the cheap guy, but you also get what you pay for. I just wish the other two could be as simple as this one was. That would make my day. And there's one. This is that same pipe that we just changed it on over there. The top one creeps up the other side, and what I'm seeing is the easiest way to get to this is if you snake up the wheel well and you can get to it right where my hand's at. It might be easier to take your fender liner out, but we'll figure out if I really need to. And the other one, shut up, train. And the other one I'm not excited to do is bent up around this pipe. How I'm gonna get to this one, you kind of have to sneak the wrench in between the frame rail and the exhaust pipe. Otherwise, you'd have to drop this whole thing. And I don't want to do that. But we'll see if it's possible, and if it's not, then you'll know. So we've officially gotten all 3 oxygen sensors out. It ended up just being easier to drop the whole downpipe system to get to this one. Once I kind of started lowering it, I could have gotten to the downstream one, but there was slim to little hope of getting that upstream one that was on what would be bank 1. Holy crud. I don't currently have the aftermath of what the one that I like destroyed looks like. This is our back one for the downstream. I mean, they're definitely built up with soot. There's no doubt about that. But I took some of the stuff off the top because I thought I'd be able to get to it from there. It wasn't happening. So the good news out of all this, and try not to bring religion into things, but you know what? Blessed be, I did not break any of the bolts taking them off. I was able to utilize my ratchet and a couple different extensions to crack the bolts loose, and I'm hoping I can do the same thing going back up. And the only other thing I'm gonna do is check some fuses and replace some of those vacuum lines, mainly the one that goes into our throttle body right there for the fuel vapors. But those will not be here until Thursday. So we're just gonna wrap up all the stuff tonight with this, or at least, you know, get the exhaust back on, and we'll call it a day.
It's the guts and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the Pledge of Allegiance on the 4th of July. It's some handwritten letters from home. It's some sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. Mr. Red, white, and blue, lay down, he is alive. Mr. Red, white, and blue, for these stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana, to the golden coast of California, Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop. And his 18th birthday was the day he was born. Mr. Red, white, and blue, lay down, he is alive. Mr. Red, white, and blue, for these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, white, and blue, stand on the front line. Mr. Red, white, and blue, pay the ultimate price. Oh. He was the man of the house when he was born. His family is proud but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on how to be brave, just to see the flag still wave. And then he came home with only one aim. He's Mr. Red, white, and blue. Lay down, he's alive. Mr. Red, white, and blue. March in line. March in line.
At this point, I think I look like I've just dumpster delving and survived a fire. I don't know, but hey, it's all back together. As long as it starts, then I'd consider that a success. So, I want to thank you guys for sticking around as long as you have. I guess might as well start it up, and I know if I didn't get something right, because either A, it will burn up, B, it's still going to sound really loud, or C, everything's going to work beautifully, and I can call this night, yeah, wrap it all up. It's looking all right. I don't see anything that would be, causing an issue. Do we have a check engine light? Well, currently there's no check engine light, but usually you give it a couple minutes and it'll pop back up. But for now, we shouldn't have any O2 sensor problems unless there was something mechanically wrong with this thing like in the electrical department or the vacuum department, yeah, all I'd really have to do is just replace some vacuum lines and maybe check a couple fuses. I think that's what we're going to call it for. So for now, I'm going to double check one more time. Oh, this check engine light's still off. I'll keep you guys updated, but, you know, if you want to check out the rest of the big projects, you can find them up in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Other than that, make sure to keep it light, keep it loose, keep it fresh, most importantly, keep it fun. This is BUCH'D Customs out. I got to go take a shower. Peace.